Hey everyone, Junkyard Jenny here. Welcome back to JJL Racing. I am coming to you from my home office. So last week at Pueblo, we ran a 4:51, and my reaction time on that particular run was a 5:15. So when we got home, well, even really during the entire ride, I kept thinking, man, 5:15, that's half a second. And I kept thinking, that's not like me. That's not something I would do. And so what I decided to do was take one of the videos that we got and break it down and see if I could pinpoint what exactly I was doing wrong there at the light and figure out why it took me half a second. And mostly I was trying to prove to my husband, Cotterpin, that I did not sit there for a half a second. Anyhow, so we've got a videographer, Levi. He's really, really good. He tends to video my car from behind, but at the same time you can see where the staging line is and the staging lights. And so I thought, well, I'm going to take that video, I'm going to break that video down and see if I can't figure out exactly what I did wrong. So what I found, though, I need to share with everybody because it proves that I did not run a 4:51. And I'm going to show you how I came up with that. So I'm going to head over here to my computer. And right here, this is a screen grab from that video. As you can see here, my opponent and I are staged. I'm going to go ahead a couple of frames. And here you see the lights drop. This should be the point where I let go of the button, but clearly I'm still sitting there. Now, if you look over at his lights, you keep going a few frames, he begins to roll out right as the light turns green. Now that makes for a good reaction time, and the reason I say that is because your car is going to do a little bit of rollout before the beams catch it, which makes sense. His reaction time was an 0:51, and that's a killer reaction time. So meanwhile, I'm still sitting here. My lights are still lit. You can see now he is completely gone from the staging beams. I'm still sitting there. And I'm still sitting there. I'm going to go through here a couple. Now, check this out. Now you see my tires start to move, and my car starts to roll out. But my lights are still lit. Now the first beam has dropped, but look how far my car moves before the second beam drops. Right there. See how far out my car is? What that means is that is where my clock started. So naturally, my 60-foot would be super fast at a 101. Well, we all know that my car cannot run a 101 60-foot. There's tons of cars out there that struggle to do that with 3 times the horsepower that my car has. So, I mean, the best my car's been is a 114 with a 1. So to shave off a tenth of a second, it didn't happen. What disturbs me, though, is that if my RT was that late and my 60-foot was that good, that means to me that my elapsed time at the end of the track was also off. Doing the math on this, I'm going to guess about a tenth of a second. And so if my car really did run, let's say I ran a 114, 60-foot, that would put that pass there at anywhere between a 461 and a 465. So I can't walk around saying that my car ran a 451, especially analyzing this. So now people are going to ask, was there something underneath your car that was dragging, something that tripped the beams? There was not. Every car, at least every time slip that I saw throughout the day, every car that was in the right-hand lane had really crappy reaction times and stellar 60-foots, along with personal best elapsed times. So, I'm not calling out the track. I'm not saying that they had an issue. I'm just saying that, well, I mean, clearly the lights were not set right. The beams were not set right. It didn't matter to me. I lost this race fair and square. He did beat me by a full fender at the end of the track. I wish I had better footage from the end of the track to show you, but he did indeed beat me. There's no question about that. I'm more questioning the time slips from pretty much everybody who was in the right lane that day. So, that said, for me, I just wanted to come clean. I cannot walk around in good conscience saying that I ran a 451 knowing this. I did not. So that's what I'm here to tell everybody, is that I did not run a 451. I don't know how much more clear I can make it, but it's been bugging me for a couple of days. I had to get it out. So next race is going to be November 18th through the 22nd. This is Streetcar Super Nationals out in Las Vegas. I highly recommend you go out and check it out. A lot of fast cars, really good time. If you can't make it out, at least go ahead and hang out and watch the video footage that I'll be bringing you from that race. In the meantime, I'm going to try to bring you some other video about, you know, some things that we're going to do to the car between now and then, and just basic maintenance stuff, spark plugs and oil changes and tires, so nothing spectacular, but I hope you do join us for whatever videos we put up here in the future. So give us a like, a subscribe. We'll see you next time, and thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for hearing me out on this. Have a great night.